Yay, there we are. Hello and welcome. Welcome to my 40-day restorative yoga challenge. My name is Sadhana, and I'm really happy to have you here with me for the duration of this challenge. And if this is your first day, welcome. Every day is one restorative yoga pose. And so what does that mean? That means we are going to be on the floor. It means we're going to be breathing into a place of relaxation to allow the body to not only physically release, but mentally and emotionally let go. The beauty of this practice is that over time, it really begins to dial into that place where we can begin to sleep better, and it's easier to slow down, and perhaps we don't feel quite so hurried in our life. I find of all the yoga practices, this restorative yoga practice can have a tremendous effect on your life outside of or away from the yoga mat. So welcome. Welcome. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the pose we did yesterday and why I'm choosing the pose we're doing today. I know I said I was going to do a second hip opener a couple of times ago, and that will be tomorrow. So I just want to kind of set you up for what's happening today, and then also give you a little bit of preparation for tomorrow as well too. So today we're going to review the pose we did yesterday, and then we're going to do a counter pose. And if you're wondering what you're going to need today, if you have either a block or a bolster and a strap. The strap is not mandatory, but it's really, really nice in this pose. I'm going to show you how to use it. All right. And then tomorrow we will be doing our second hip opener in this series, and it will be on the wall. So you'll need to set yourself up tomorrow where you have space on the wall to put your legs and your feet on the wall. It could be on a piece of furniture such as a sofa, something like that, but a wall would be ideal. Okay, so that's kind of what's ahead. As well, every day I have been drawing from a different oracle deck. And the reason for this is sometimes it's nice when we're just lying down to have something to contemplate, somewhere to take our mind and our heart space. I love oracle cards. They have this beautiful way of just helping us to reflect on the moment and what is needed in the moment. The reason I chose the Ganesha Oracle today, the Whispers of Lord Ganesha Oracle, was multifold. There's always some kind of subtle reason, but one is that it feels really humid today, and the air pressure feels kind of heavy. And for me, that's the energy of Ganesh and the connection to the earth and the grounding energy. And with the poses we're doing today, that is a little tricky to weave in, but I'm going to try to come back to whatever the message on this card is. It's a really beautiful deck. And if you're looking for a deck that is has a more grounding energy and it's tremendously accessible to you. The guidebook is beautifully written if you're new to oracle cards. So a couple of cards flew out of the deck when I was shuffling earlier, and it's going to be really interesting to see if either of those cards appear here. No, this is a different card. Okay. You know, a couple of days ago we had that freedom card, and the very first day we had the card with the bee, and I was looking at the shape of the wreath, the incomplete circle, and the space for that bee to fly forward. Kind of that path that lies ahead. And 2 days ago in that freedom card, there was a woman looking out the window. It almost feels like these oracle cards are really supporting and encouraging this journey. And we want to be present. We want to be here right now in this moment, in the pose of today. But I feel like there is a respect for this journey. And there's respect for this journey that you're on. So welcome and thank you for being here. The key word is promise of the future. And what I'm really picking up on here is that the commitment, the showing up, whether you are watching this live or you're watching this back, whether you do watch a couple in a day or you're watching them one by one, the commitment to being here and to really being present with these poses is something, and to not discount that. And like I said, I think yesterday, the domino effect of this practice is really quite incredible. So yeah, and after day 8, I will post the second set of 4 cards on my community tab on my YouTube page. So let's go back to yesterday's pose. So yesterday we did a seated forward fold with the legs extended out front, and you had the option of arms underneath the knees or a bolster underneath the knees. And what I want to talk about is a couple of things here. One is coming into that seated forward fold and to find the shape of the pelvis. I felt when I watched the playback, I didn't really talk about that enough. I did suggest coming up onto a small cushion to shift the pelvis forward. And that way, when we come into seated forward fold, it's almost as if your tailbone is going back and your pelvis is shifting. It's just much more natural if the pelvis is shifted in this direction. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. So it's like the seat goes back. And you'll hear a lot of yoga instructors encourage you to kind of widen your seat. Well, you get that same effect sitting on the edge of a cushion, and then the pelvis naturally falls forward. So when you review that pose, just play with that. And you've heard me talk about that on the floor. That pelvic shift is so very, very important in bringing alignment and energetic flow into your postures. Okay, so yesterday we came into a forward fold. Today we're going to come into a backward bend and a heart opening posture. We're going to come into restorative bridge pose. When you are putting poses together and you are deciding just let me sit up for a moment. When you're putting postures together, maybe tonight I'm going to do 2 postures, or you're planning tonight before you go to bed, I'm going to do 2. The idea with yogic poses is that the shapes complement each other. So yesterday we did a forward fold. So today we're going to take the body in the opposite direction, right? It's not rocket science, but it's something you might want to think about when you're putting your postures together if you're going to do 1 or 2 or 3 before bed. So ideally you don't want to do 3 hip openers or 3 heart openers or 2 forward folds. You want to move the body in different directions, okay? So today we're going to do supported bridge, and I'm going to talk about the strap first while I'm up here. This is kind of a cool part of this posture. And usually when I'm teaching a class, I hop around and I help everybody with their straps, because a lot of people don't know how to use these things. Most of the brands, if you have the brand name on and again, I have no support from any of these companies. These are all things I've purchased myself, the cards, all of the props and everything. So there's no sponsorship through these videos. If you have the label on the outside and you take the strap through the middle, up through the middle, and then down through the tab on the outside. Generally speaking, with most yoga straps, this is how you're going to get the strap to lock. And if you have lost the instructions for your yoga strap, go back to the website where you purchased it, or the company you purchased it, or message them if the instructions aren't on their website. Okay, so I'm going to slide this over my legs and tighten it up. So my feet, my hips are about, my legs, my thighs are about hip distance apart. The idea with the strap is that with the strap here, I can take a big breath in and kind of press into the strap with my exhale breath, and then forget about my legs, because my legs are held, and then my quadriceps aren't doing the work of holding me in the bridge posture. And so that's the idea with the restorative practice, is that you're not working so hard. The other thing too is that this part of the strap, make sure that's in the opening, right? It's not pressing into your skin, into your flesh. All right, so let's set this up. And again, any number of things can go underneath your low back. And remember that these blocks have 3 heights, right? They have bungalow, chalet, skyscraper, whatever you want to call it, 3 heights. And generally speaking, this is not very relaxing. Either the lowest or the second height is great for a lot of people. And this can also be a little bit of not much space for some people. So if you do have 2 blocks and you want to get your hips a little bit higher, then I would suggest this, stacking 2 blocks, or perhaps something like this. So you have more space for your low back to rest on, okay? Because this is not a lot of, I was going to say square footage. It's not a lot of area. I'm going to leave the strap here, come down onto my back, and step by step, just come down onto the floor and just take a moment here. Land first. Soles of the feet on the mat. Big breath in and out. And just give yourself a moment. And let the cares and the worries of the day go. And just be here right now. And know that you are supported. The earth below has you. She always has you. Feel your feet. Your legs are hip distance apart. Now, if you don't have a strap, these cues are really important. The legs are hip distance apart. The feet are hip distance apart. In restorative, this is not as important as as a more active variation. You may or may not be able to touch your ankles. And this is a really good place to start. Touch your heels. After a few moments, you may wish to adjust the distance of your feet. But generally speaking, you want the sides of the feet parallel to the edge of the mat and the heels quite close in to start the posture. When you feel ready, go ahead and inhale your hips up off the floor and begin to walk your shoulder blades closer together. And then place the block underneath your low back. Again, walk the shoulder blades closer together. And when you land here, after a couple of exhales, you'll know, oh, the block, the bolster is not in the right place. So then take an inhale breath, raise the hips up, and perhaps you do want to come a little higher. Which will mean that you need to adjust again on the upper back as well too. Walk the shoulder blades closer together. Generally speaking, in this pose, you want to have the palms open to the ceiling and get everything out of the way. Now if you do have a strap, let's focus on the strap. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, give a little effort into the strap. Exhale. And then soften your legs. You may need to adjust the shoulder blades again. You may need to adjust your block ever so slightly. And then all you need to do is let go. And I'll talk about the breath and the prana of this pose in just a few moments, but just come into your breath. Allow gravity to assist in all of these restorative poses. Your hands are soft. Watch for any clenching in the hands. If you do have clenched fists, take a breath in, clench, 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 and then soften into the exhale. Your chin is in toward the collarbones, not tight in, but you're definitely not looking up toward the ceiling. Close your eyes. And if your prop is too much pressure on your low back, then you need to adjust your prop. Something softer, something lower. And again, like I said, this is really nice. If you have two blocks, then to have more square footage, more area can feel really nice. And if that feels too much of a stretch on your quadriceps or your hip flexors, then you make adjustments. You rise up. And you just play with this until you get it just right. And then once you've found the height that's working for you, and once you find a place where you can begin to settle, then that's exactly what you do. Take the breath awareness into the energetic heart center. So behind the sternum, center of the chest. Feel the fullness of the breath in the chest. Explore the rib cage. And be aware of the connective tissue between the ribs. Breathe deeply into the right lung. And the left lung. Both lungs together. Check in with your toes and your fingers. You pick your toes up with an inhale breath and then soften your feet. We tend to carry tension. Again, inhale, clench. Exhale, soften. I mentioned a couple of days ago that those sand baggy eye pillows are really nice to place on the hands. Big exhale breaths here. Come back to the breath in the chest. Right behind the sternum. Find a point in the center, somewhere between the sternum and the spine, equidistant between both of the lungs, the center of both of the lungs. and imagine a light, a flame in the center of your energetic heart space. And with your eyes closed, just be with that light. In Sanskrit, the light is called Jyoti. And just know that light is always there, sending you unconditional love. If you do not have a strap and you're fidgeting with your legs, heel toe your feet a little further apart and just allow your knees to rest together. And then come back to stillness. And allow the light to fill your heart space with whatever it is you need in this moment. And we did this breath pattern a couple of days ago. Be aware of your shoulders and your hands. Next time you inhale, take the inhale breath from the energetic heart center up to the shoulders. And then witness the breath wash down both arms and out the palms or the fingertips. When you're ready to breathe in again, go back to the center of the heart. Trace the inhale from the heart center to the shoulders. And witness the exhale move down the arms and out the hands. And just carry on with that breath pattern. And if there's anything that you are ready and willing to release, to let go of in this moment, next time you watch, next time you witness the exhale, move down the arms, repeat that silently to yourself and let that go right now. You may need to do it a few times. You may need to repeat it over a few days, but with your whole heart, let that go. Let it wash away. Give it back to the earth. Check in with your glutes. Soften your glutes, your buttocks. Soften your legs. Check in with any tension in your feet and your fingers. And let's count 6 more breaths. Return to your natural breath if you haven't already done so. Bring your arms a little closer to the body. You can walk your feet in a little closer. Come to your tiptoes. Inhale the hips up and remove anything you have there. Connect to your upper back. Lower the upper back, middle back. Very slowly, mid back, lower back coming down. You can guide your knees into your chest. Slide the strap off if you have a strap. Either walk your feet wide and I'll just allow the knees to rest together, or you can bring your knees into your chest and gently rock side to side. When you feel ready, come into Shavasana. Extend your legs. Walk your shoulder blades closer together and allow the body to integrate for a couple of minutes. And I invite you to stay in Shavasana for as long as you have time and space to do so. And when you're ready to come out, bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Transition to a side, and you may wish to stay in fetal pose for a few breaths. And then make your way up when you're ready. So the restorative bridge posture is it's a really beautiful opening for the body, for the heart space. You also get a gentle shoulder stretch, much more gentle than we did the other day with the twist. Deep breath awareness in the chest. Depending on how high you raised your hips up off the floor, you may have felt that in the quadriceps. And so there's a release as well too in the legs. There's a lot that goes on in the restorative bridge posture. It's one that I love bridge posture, even without the block. It's a beautiful place to hang out. And so if you do practice bridge, you probably want to come into a forward fold after. It might naturally feel a place that you need to go, just to kind of counteract the back bend. It's really nice to go, if you've been back, to go forward, and if you've been forward, to kind of stretch out. Yesterday when I finished with you, I just wanted to hang out and bridge for a little while. It's just, the body naturally wants to bring balance. And the more you practice these kind of poses, the more you will intuitively feel and understand how the body is always seeking the balance between left and right and front and back, on a physical level, but also, on an emotional and mental level as well too. So yeah. So let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I really look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And like I said, tomorrow we're going to be on the wall. So clear a space on the wall where you have enough room, and I'll shift the camera. So I will be over on this wall here, and we'll be doing a hip opener. Stay well. Namaste.